My name is Stephanie Roth Goldberg. I'm a psychotherapist who specializes in athletes and eating disorders, body image, and the mental mindset of athletes. And I combine the intersection of all of those things. So if you've followed me for a while, you know that I'm really passionate about helping runners run better, feel better, fuel better, and one of the things that I'm going to try and do with this channel is get a little more in depth about some of the ways which we do that. So this is my first video and this may feel really random, but today I'm going to talk about running flow states and coloring. And you may be thinking, like, what do those two things have to do with each other? And the answer is like nothing and everything. So here we go. What if I were to tell you that some of the feelings that you experience from running, you can experience from coloring? Both things are usually accessible and they're totally different, but often overlap in the ways in which they can calm our anxious thoughts and bring us to a place of mindfulness. So what is the runner's high? As you know, the runner's high is basically a release of endorphins that happens when running. It can happen at different durations and paces for different people, but we do know that running releases endorphins, whether you feel the runner's high or not. You do get the benefits of running. So we know that research shows that running and exercise in general reduces depression and anxiety. And if you have the runner's high, you generally have like a feeling of elatedness. It doesn't feel perhaps like you're so happy, but you might feel calm. And there's a flow state also. What is flow state? So flow state is the feeling of mindfulness, of letting things go. Flow state happens in running when things begin to feel automatic. You're out of, you're not thinking negative thoughts. You're not even necessarily thinking positive thoughts. You're just moving automatically and things feel easy. For this to happen, you do have to remove distractions. So you're not listening to music usually, although you could be, but most likely you're just listening and in tune with your body, your breath, your footsteps, and the scenery without distraction. So you're also not paying attention to your pace, which can be really hard for folks, but you can cover up your watch or you can put it in your pocket, or even better, leave it at home. So there are so many benefits we get from running. One of it is just the discipline of structuring our days so that we can run, which helps in all sorts of ways. It helps us fuel properly, hopefully. Helps us sleep in a regular schedule, hopefully. And all of those things help our cognitive functions in general, right? So what does any of this have to do with coloring? Coloring has also been known to help people get in touch with a level of mindfulness because it reduces our thoughts of other things. It helps distract us from racing thoughts, nervous thoughts, depressive thoughts, negative thoughts about our body because we're paying attention to coloring. It helps us connect to our body in the way that we're moving, right? We're coloring something, we can feel the pencil in our hand, we can see the outcome of it. Similar to if you're running, you see, oh, I was there, now I'm here, and you're in touch with the movements of your body. And there's a beginning of it and an end, which is really useful. It also can be a disciplined practice or not. But running, or coloring rather, helps us focus, which again, we need in the way in which flow state happens. Often it's a hyper focus that feels easy and automatic. So why am I talking about these two things? As a therapist, one of the things I find with a lot of the folks that I work with is that rest days are really hard, or emotional regulation is really hard. Like you get in a fight with someone and you're really angry and you want to go out for a run, but you've already run that day. So what do you do with that energy? There's lots of things you can do. And today what I'm suggesting is perhaps you do the quiet thing and you color. It helps distract us. It helps bring us to a different place in our bodies and our brains. And it helps promote recovery by not pounding on our feet again. We can also do things to help promote recovery other than the most important, which are obviously sleeping and eating enough, but rest days. And I also find that many of the folks that I work with struggle with rest days. They don't like them, they don't want them, they don't feel they're necessary. And it's important to make your rest days feel productive. One of the things I often say to people is to have a plan for those days. So what if your plan included just like coloring? Wouldn't that be kind of nice and such a different activity? And also something that you can do at home. You can't do it while doing other things, but it's helpful. You can put your feet out in front of you, you can sit cross-legged, you can do all sorts of things that help promote stillness. So these two practices are linked in the way of creating better flow state, which helps in general with our mindset, and again, reduction of anxiety and depression. These two things are also linked in that runners often need something to do on rest days and something to do with their nervous energy. And here it is, I've created a coloring book for runners that have positive affirmations to remind us how great running is, how great runners are, and also to give you something to do with your hands on those days when you don't know what else to do, and as a way to know that you can emotionally regulate without going for an extra run or without doing something that perhaps is not what your body needs at the moment, even though your brain might feel that way. So we can retrain our brain to find all different ways to emotionally cope with all different things. So comment on this video or click the link in my bio to download a free page of my coloring book. Let me know what you think. I know these two things may seem totally unrelated, and you could make a case that they are, but they do promote a lot of the same brain activity and some of the opposite brain activity, which as runners we need. We need to chill out. So take a look, comment, let me know what you think, and happy coloring. Hope to see you out on the road soon.